you wonderful people. So for this video, it's kind of actually like a continuation of something that I kind of brought up in the previous videos, kind of talking about comic book adaptations and stuff like that, kind of just the general topic of it. And Black Lightning came up, and I felt like kind of making a little video talking about it a little bit, because obviously I'm not that familiar with Black Lightning. Obviously it's going to become an upcoming TV show on the CW, because when I saw it, I was like, oh, I didn't realize it was DC orientated. There's some very interesting things like I wanted to kind of bring up, like talking about that. Obviously, if you haven't seen the trailer, I'll just include like a description down below. Obviously, it looks very interesting. Like I said, like it's a superhero I'm not familiar with at all. Like I'm not familiar with most superheroes. I know little bits here and there, but like, he's a hero I don't think I've ever really come across before. Like I did, apparently there was some crossover with him, and I think, wasn't it like, I think it was like Young Justice, both him and Static Shock met each other. It's like, it's been a while since I saw Young Justice, so I don't remember quite, but I swear I was reading an article that was very fascinating. It was basically, it was the creator talking about the fact is he likes Black Lightning being on his own, because like obviously the other, you know, DC superhero shows like Legends, Flash, Supergirl, Arrow, they're all team orientated, but it's like, nah, he's his own hero. He handles things by himself. Obviously he's got his family and stuff like that, which apparently his daughters are kind of adapting his powers, kind of. Which is, that in itself is a question I kind of wanted to get to at first too, was like, the fact is he's a metahuman, which I find fascinating, but the fact of the matter is he was a retired superhero, and he's been retired for a couple years. It's not like set like crazy into the future or anything like that. It's like, no, it's set modern time. So there's like a 10-year period, you know, based on the trailer. I don't remember the exact dates, but I want to say it was like, wasn't it like 2005 or more like 2006 or whatever that, no, I think maybe 2007, whatever the case may be. He was a superhero, and then he retired, and then like obviously the stories about him going back to being a hero in 2017, which if you compare that to the canon of like Flash as well as the Arrowverse, metahumans didn't start popping up until 2014, because that's when Barry originally got his powers. That's when Central City became like home to a lot of metahumans, because that's when the particle accelerator went off. But the fact of the matter is he has got his powers. Immediately my brain goes, well, obviously the show is kind of its own thing, but I'm sure like obviously it's on the CW, so maybe there still might be that whole like crossover possibility. But I'm thinking it's like Black Lightning is in his own world. I'm thinking it's like, it's a whole metaverse thing where it's like his story takes place on a different Earth, much like Supergirl. So like a lot of stuff that happens in the Arrowverse doesn't affect Supergirl, even though they're on the same network now. But obviously there's crossover, because you have characters that will cross over into that world. Like, you know, you could have Flash characters, so that's still a possibility. It's just probably like in this particular world, metahumans, you know, and the fact is his daughters have it. So I didn't know being a meta was something, well, I guess it makes sense, but like I'm not that familiar with metahumans. The only one I'm familiar with is Flash, but I know that he has a grandson who's also a speedster, so I don't know whether, which kind of gets a little wonky when you think about, you know, because the Flash is very different amongst metahumans, because speedsters are like connected to the Speed Force, which obviously I constantly talk about. It's like an omnipotent thing, so it's like it kind of chooses you, but at the same time it's like you get your powers, but it also kind of allows you to take some of its essence with you and making you super fast and everything. So it's like, did Bart become a metahuman because metahuman gene runs in his family? Is that something that does get passed down, or is it a sense of, you know, or is it just because of like, you know, I mean, it seems like that might typically be a thing anyway, but is like the Allen family just kind of a exception all on their own because of the Speed Force angle? So with Black Lightning, is it because metahuman is like a, you know, is it, you know, crossing streams here, but is it like a mutant gene that it does pass down? Like, I don't know. It's something I'm going to have to do research in, but it's just something fascinating I thought I like kind of really talk about. But it's just like, obviously like aesthetically it's very different. I mean, this isn't even me really breaking down a trailer, because I saw the trailer like a few weeks ago, so it's like a little blank in my head about certain things. But obviously it seems very like street level, like Arrow is kind of dealing with bad guys. Like it's kind of like, it's got that Marvel feel to it, like on the fact is that it's street level, but it also has like that, it seems like it has that darker feel to it like Arrow. It seems like it's a combination of like aesthetically kind of like tone wise Arrow, but also mixing that with the metahuman aspect of Flash. Doesn't seem like there's other metahumans. I'm assuming that will come up as like he's a metahuman. So far I'm sure a lot of the stuff from the trailer is pulled from like earlier episodes. There's probably stuff from later parts in the episode, but so far it seems like a lot of it's from like the beginning, like the first episode, kind of introducing you and him and who he's up against. So obviously another metahuman elements are probably going to play into it, I would assume. Like I said, it's just very fascinating, but I think they talked about the fact is, and it's something I was bringing up earlier, is the fact is the creator wants Black Lightning to be on his own. I was like, I don't want him to have a team or nothing like that. It's like, yeah, him and Shock are cool, but I don't want Static Shock brought into this world or anything like that, which is like, they could set that up, but he's like, no, I want it just to be Black Lightning by himself, because it's like, give him his own show, let this be about him, this is his story, you know, we don't need to build an entire team around him. Like I said, it seems like a situation where it's like, eventually his daughters will get powers, and obviously it's going to be them dealing with that, like, them probably wanting to join their dad. He's like, yo, I know you're getting your powers and everything, but it's like, no, this is something I'll handle by myself. I eventually get, I don't know if it's both his daughters or just one of his daughters ended up getting powers. From the trailer, it seemed like it might have only been one, but like, once again, it's been a while since I saw the trailer, so. This is just something like, it's all was kind of fascinating, like the whole metahuman situation, so I thought like, oh, you know, like my thought of it is like, it is a multiverse thing, because I wouldn't think they, because like I said, it seemed like they are kind of setting up possibly like their own little thing. Like, I don't know, for all I know, I could be 100% wrong, and this is just like, no, we're not worried about crossing this over. Those shows are all part of the quote-unquote Arrowverse, and it's like, that's its own thing. Black Lightning is its own thing as well. But it, you know, once again, it being a DC show, I kind of, you know, hope that it will take place in that universe, you know, whether it's across the metaverse and multiverse and everything. But really, that's all I want to talk about. Till the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day and goodbye.